Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing good. I hope you all are staying safe and healthy at your home. So I'm Mrs. Sutima Vashistha and today we are meeting for the social science geography class. Last class we have already done with the geography chapter land and soil. Today we'll be continuing with the next part of the chapter. So before I start with today's class, I would like to let you know what you are going to learn from today's class. What will be your outcome? So in today's class, you will be knowing the different types of soil that we find in India and where in different parts of the country we find this type of soil. And at the same time, we will also know the different techniques for soil conservation. I will try to show you different images towards the end of the class so that you have a very clear picture about the different techniques that are there in the book. And also you will get to know about the different types of soil erosion. So before starting with that, I would like to have a very quick recapitulation of what was done in the earlier class. I will just share the screen here. So in our previous class, if you can remember, we were doing with land and soil. We talked about many things in the last class. We talked about firstly the classification of land on the basis of relief, right, and how it affects the population. And we talked about on the basis of soil fertility, how the population pattern also changes. On the basis of development of area, how pattern of population changes, and on the ownership of land. And we talked about land use, how physical factor and human factor affects the land use, how much the land use pattern. Then we talked about land degradation and land conservation, what leads to land degradation and how can we conserve our land. Then we talked about soil formation, how soil is formed, and from the breaking down from the parent rock, then mixing it with organic matter, then the biological action of the bacteria. All this then giving rise to humus. This is how soil is formed. Then we talked about the various factors of which affect soil formation, like nature of the parent rock. Then the nature of the parent rock decides what will be the texture and composition of the soil. Then climatic condition has a very big influence on the formation of soil. Then the topography, then how much living organism is present in the soil, and also definitely the time. We also talked about the soil profile. This is very important, as I said, which is the layers of the the vertical division of the soil, which starts with humus, which with all the dead particles of plants and animals. Then is the topsoil, which have the organic matter. Then have the subsoil, which have clay and has the power to retain rainfall, collect rainwater. Then we have the weathered rock fragments, where all the weathered rocks, the breakdown from the parent rock materials will be there. And the last is the bedrock, or the unweathered parent rock. So today we will be starting now first with the types of soil. So there are two types of soil, and types of soil is basically classified on the basis of color, texture, and its formation. So soil is basically of two types. There is in situ soil and transported soil. The soil which stays in the place of origin and is not transported, that is known as residual or in situ soil, and the soil which gets transported to another place, that is known as transported soil. Now, so there are different types of soil in India that we find. These are desert soil, black soil, mountain soil, alluvial soil, red soil, laterite soil. So all these are the soil, and the places where this is found is basically here. You can see in the map. Let's say, for example, red soil. It is found in Karnataka. It is found in Kerala. Then we have Tamil Nadu. We have Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Orissa. Then we have Jharkhand, Tripura, Mizoram. All these places we find red soil. Then coming to black soil, this black soil we have here, you can see we have parts of Gujarat, then we have parts of Maharashtra, then we have parts of Madhya Pradesh, then we have parts of Karnataka, little part here you can see. So this is where black soil is found. Then we have mountain soil, this green area where it is the Jammu and Kashmir. Then we have Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand. Then we have here Arunachal Pradesh, right? Then we have this alluvial soil, this pinkish area. We have this parts of Punjab. Here we have parts of Punjab, then Haryana, Then we have Delhi here, UP, Delhi, UP, then parts of Jharkhand. Then we also have here Assam. So these are the places where this the alluvial soil is found. Then we have laterite soil, that is this blue, small blue area. If you can see here, this also falls little bit in Assam. Then also we have a little bit of Meghalaya. Then also we have little bit here of Karnataka, then Chhattisgarh, Orissa. So these are the places. I think if you have, this will be very much clear if you have a atlas with you, and you can simultaneously go on identifying the places as it is marked here. So now we will look into what are the types of soil we find in India, that are found in India, and what is its texture and in which regions it is basically found. So first is alluvial soil. It is basically gray in color, and the texture is a very fertile soil. All right, and it may vary from sandy, loamy to clay. All right, the texture, the texture is the quality. Like when you touch the soil, what will be the texture? All right, that is known as texture. In which regions it is found? Northern plains, deltas, and coastal plains. And what crops are grown basically in alluvial soil? Wheat, rice, pulses, sugarcane, and maize. Then coming to black soil, it is also known as regur soil. The color is definitely black in color. And what is the texture? It will retain a lot of moisture, and it is a bit clayey, all right, a bit sticky, all right. It's clay. So it will, here you will find mainly in the Deccan plateaus. And the crops that can be grown here are cotton and sugarcane. Then we have red soil. Definitely the color has to be red. And why it is red? Because of the high content of iron. Because of high iron content, it is red. And it varies from sandy. Somewhere it is sandy, some places, and to clay and to loamy. And which regions we find this? In Deccan Plateau, south of the Deccan Plateau. And the crops that are grown here is oilseeds and millets. Then we have this laterite soil. Laterite soil is basically red in color, and it is not a fertile soil, all right, not so fertile. And it is found in mainly eastern and western Ghats. And it is basically crops with the grasses and shrubs, pastures and shrubs. Then we have this mountain soil, which is basically brown in color. And the texture of it is fertile soil, and it can be clay also, sometimes loamy also. And it is the regions that is found, it is in northern mountains. And which crops are grown? Fruit, tea, coffee, and spices, all these are grown. Then desert area, we know it is basically brown and red, and it is not so fertile land, mostly sandy. The texture is mostly sandy, and it is found in regions like Rajasthan, Gujarat, parts of Punjab and Haryana. And which crops basically grow in desert soil? It's bajra and jowar. All right. Okay. So now we will be looking into the loss of soil cover, or what is soil erosion. By the word itself, we can now understand the loss to the soil cover. All right, when the soil is lost, that something happens, it is called erosion. So how is soil erosion caused? It is mainly caused by how is loss of soil cover caused? It is mainly caused by erosion and exhaustion. Now, what is soil erosion? Soil erosion refers to the removal of the topsoil. We know that, right? When the topsoil gets removed or it gets eroded, that is known as soil erosion, and it is caused by basically by what? Heavy rainfall, high speed of wind, lack of trees. All these causes soil erosion. And also when soil erosion takes place, the fertility of the soil also decreases. It happens basically because of factors such as slope of the land. Now we know as you travel to the hilly areas, there is high risk for soil erosion, right? The soil can get eroded very much easily. We got to, because the soil is the layer of soil is very thin there. We learned in the earlier class, right? So that is why the soil gets eroded very easily. Now if the intensity of rainfall and the velocity of wind is very high, definitely that will also contribute for soil erosion. Now there are two types of soil erosion. One is sheet erosion and the other one is gully erosion. Now let's see what is sheet erosion. The sheet erosion is only when evenly or uniformly the top the layer of the soil gets eroded. That is known as sheet erosion. I will try to show you some image here. You will get better understanding then. what is sheet erosion and gully erosion. Uh, let's see here. I have taken down many pictures here actually. Yeah, this one. I hope you can see this. This is sheet erosion. Like, can you see only the top layer uniformly, the top layer is getting eroded. So this is known as sheet erosion. All right. Now coming to gully erosion, this is gully erosion. So can you see deep gullies are from deeply it has eroded, like we see always in the hills, right? So when deeply it forms like this kind of gullies or no deep gorges, then this is known as gully erosion. Now let's go back to the chapter again. I'll try to share the chapter again. Okay. So I hope you have understood sheet erosion, as I said, the uniform removal of the soil, and gully erosion, as I said, where deep grooves or gullies are formed, all right, gorges are formed, that is known as gully erosion. Now, what is soil exhaustion? Soil exhaustion means when there is deterioration of the mineral nutrients in the soil because of poor techniques of farming, such as like if there is too much use of fertilizers or chemicals, overgrazing is done, if there is too much of cropping done in that land, then the land tend to lose its minerals or its actual fertility, or the soil tends to lose. So that is known as soil exhaustion. Like activities like the cutting down of trees or use of excessive chemicals, all this leads to soil exhaustion. Okay, I'll share the chapter here again. All right. So I hope you have understood what is soil exhaustion till here. That because of too much of cultivation or too much of the overgrazing of animals, then use of excessive chemicals, the soil tends to lose its fertility. That is known as soil exhaustion. Now let's move towards the different soil conservation techniques. Now we will learn around, now we the human beings have destroyed our, we are through our own activities, we are spoiling or degrading the land. Now we will only discover or find out ways how we can conserve our land again or the soil again. So let's see. Now, various soil conservation techniques are as follows. Shelter belt. I think shelter belt we came across earlier also. Shelter belt is planting of trees in a line, all right, so that the trees can provide shelter to the crop, and also the trees will be acting as a shield from heavy wind, or if there's too much of if heavy wind is a high speed wind is there, then it will act as a shield, all right, that is known as shelter belt. Then we have afforestation. Afforestation means planting of trees. Then avoid overgrazing. As I said, overgrazing, like too much of animals like cattle and goats, we should not, like overgrazing should not be done, because if overgrazing is done, the land becomes barren, nothing is left in that soil, all right, then the land loses its fertility. So that is known as that is known as to avoid overgrazing. Too much of cattle and goats should not be left open in a land, that will lose the fertility of the soil. Then building of rock dams. Rock dams should be constructed uh, of stone, bagged sand, or gravel, or other durable materials. It will prevent floods. Now I will show you the picture of rock dams. What is rock dam and how it will prevent flood? Let's see. Rock dam. Yeah, this one. You can see here in the image, right? Yeah, the image is a bit small. Let me zoom in. Yeah, can you see a rock bridge is there? Yes. So this will prevent overflowing of water. All right. So this kind of rock dam will prevent flood. So overflowing of water it will prevent, and that will also help in controlling soil erosion. Okay. All right. Next one. Let's go to the chapter again. Again, next technique we will be trying to see. Now we need to conserve to conserve the soil, we also need to change our old methods of farming. Farming practices should be changed. So what practices we should adopt? Mulching. So what is mulching? Mulching is the covering of soil with dry grass or hay. Between two plants, you will put hay or dry grass so as to retain the moisture or and prevent soil erosion. I'll show you a picture again for mulching. Let's see here which one is mulching. Uh, yeah, this one. Can you see here? Between two crops, hay or dry leaves are put so that it can retain the moisture of the soil. This is known as mulching. Then next, we'll go to the chapter again. Contour bunding, another farming technique, involves construction of banks along the contours across the slope. So we will cut the hill slopes in the form of contours, and this will help to collect water and prevent soil erosion. Let me show you what is contour bunding now. So this is contour bunding. Yeah, can you see the hills are cut, and through this the water will fall down easily. All right, it will not stay stagnated, and this will prevent also soil erosion. This is known as contour bunding. Then again, let's go to the next one. Plugging is choking of gullies with rocks to prevent the flow of water and soil erosion. Let us see what is plugging. If I show you a picture, you will understand it more clearly. What is plugging? Yeah, can you see this? This is known as plugging, all right? So that there is no overflow of water, and this will prevent soil erosion. Soil will not get eroded easily if we adopt such kind of methods. Then terrace farming, I think you have already heard about what is terrace farming. Terrace farming is cutting terraces or the hill slopes, uh, uh, cutting terrace on the slopes of the hill to practice farming. Let me show you terrace farming, image of terrace farming. Yeah, this is terrace farming. Can you see the hills are cut like steps? It looks like steps, and there will be cultivation, farming here or cultivation here. All this is known as terrace farming. Okay. Then let's go to the chapter again. Uh, we have something called intercropping. Intercropping means ensures that two or more crops are grown simultaneously on the same plot of land, so that the same, like, you do not use the land over and over again. It is always advisable to always grow two or more crops at the same time, all right, and in the same plot of land. Let's see intercropping picture. Yeah, yeah, can you see this is one variety of crop? Again, this is another variety. This is a short one. This is again the same variety, another variety. So in the same plot of land, you are growing two types of crops, all right? That is known as intercropping. Then going to the next technique again, that is crop rotation. Crop rotation means that you do not in different times of the year you are growing different crops. You're not growing a single crop the whole year. Different crops should be grown in different times of the year. By doing so, you are and you utilize the different minerals of the soil. The different nutrients of the soil from the soil gets utilized, all right? This helps to replenish the nutrients. The soil also get times to retain its nutrients or to get back its nutrients, all right? That is known as crop rotation. I'll show you the picture here again of crop rotation. Okay, where is it? Yeah, You can see here, in a year you are not growing only one crop, like it's keep on changing, like maybe four crops in the same plot of land in a year. All right, so that the soil also gets some time to retain its nutrients, and through that also you will be preventing soil erosion. The soil will gain its fertility. Then we have something called strip cropping. Strip cropping is the cultivation of different crops in alternate rows, like in lines, in different lines, like in alternate rows, you are growing different crops. Let's see, I will show you the image of strip cropping. Yeah, can you see? Alternately, these are like different long lines. So in different lines, you are growing the crops. This is known as strip cropping. Okay. Then again, let's go back to the chapter. We have cover crops. Cover crops are grown to cover the bare ground to prevent soil erosion. So when a ground is barren, you do not leave it open. You always are grown like you grow crops so that just cover the ground, so that if soil erosion does not take place. All right, let's see what is cover ground or cover crops. Cover crops, I'll show you here. Where is it? Yeah. Yeah, can you see this? This is cover crop, like the barren land, that's the barren land, and it's covered. All right, so this is known as cover cropping. Then we have fallowing. Fallowing means you do not cultivate anything in a plot of land, so you keep it just like that, just barren for some time, so that it can retain its it can grow itself. The land can retain its nutrients on its own. So you do not do any kind of cultivation. You keep it barren. All right, that is known as fallowing. Then drip irrigation means slow passage of water to the roots of the plant. All right, let me show you what is drip irrigation. Drip irrigation, can you see here somewhere? Yeah, this one. So this is drip irrigation. Do you see here pipes are fitted, like water supply is there. So through like droplets, like through drops and drops, this crop will receive its water. All right, so this is known as drip irrigation. And let's go back to the chapter again. Then we have contour farming. Contour farming is plowing. All right, plowing of field. You need to plowing of field along the contours. Contours, you know, right? As we have seen, like terrace on the hill slopes. All right, so you do the plowing on the contour of the land on the contours of the slope to avoid soil erosion. Let me show you contour farming image for contour farming. Yeah, this one. So this is all these are known as contours, like those step kind of things, and plowing is done here, so that there is no soil erosion. All right, so these are the various techniques that we have learned in today's class that will help us to prevent soil erosion. So basically we have learned the main techniques about we have learned about two types of soil erosion: sheet erosion, gully erosion. Then we have learned about the different soil conservation techniques, that is shelter belts, afforestation, that avoid overgrazing. Then different avoiding traditional farming practices like mulching, plugging, contour banding, intercropping, crop rotation, drip irrigation. Right, all these we got to know many new terms. We have also learned about the different types of soil that is found in India, and in which places it is found in India, and what that particular soil is what type of crops can be grown in that type of in that particular soil. All right, students, so that is all for today. So I hope this chapter ends here. I hope this class was also valuable for you, and you are able to learn new things from this class. So thank you once again.